Roman Reigns defeats CM Punk and wins WWE Championship at WrestleMania 42. WWE just delivered the most controversial WrestleMania finish in modern history, and if you're not absolutely furious about what they did to CM Punk, you haven't been paying attention to what this really means for the future of WWE. Roman Reigns just defeated CM Punk at WrestleMania 42 to win back the WWE Championship in a finish so dirty, so convoluted, so blatantly designed to protect everyone while satisfying no one, that the wrestling world is ready to riot. This wasn't storytelling. This wasn't a clean victory. This was WWE chickening out on making a definitive statement, and both Roman and Punk deserved better than this cowardly booking decision. Comment right now, are you enraged by this finish, or do you think WWE made the right call? Because this decision has split the fanbase so violently that there's no middle ground left. Let me break down exactly what happened at WrestleMania 42, because the way this match ended is more important than who won. Roman Reigns vs. CM Punk for the WWE Championship. The rematch from their legendary encounter where Punk won with The Rock's interference. This time, the story was personal. Roman wanted redemption, Punk wanted to prove he could beat Roman without help. The build was perfect. The promos were fire. Everything was set up for an all-time classic that would define both men's legacies. The match itself delivered everything you could want for 38 minutes. This was technical wrestling mixed with brawling mixed with high drama. Punk worked Roman's injured ribs from the Dean Ambrose reunion attacks. Roman targeted Punk's surgically repaired tricep. They traded finisher attempts. GTS countered into Superman punch, spear dodged into Anaconda Vice. The psychology was immaculate. The crowd was absolutely molten, split 50-50ths between both competitors. At the 30-minute mark, both men were spent. Roman hit a devastating spear. Punk kicked out at 2.9. Punk locked in the Anaconda Vice for almost a full minute. Roman powered to the ropes. They were trading strikes in the center of the ring, neither man willing to quit, both men pouring out their souls. This was the kind of match that creates legends. This was WrestleMania magic. And then WWE ruined it. The finish came when Dean Ambrose's music hit. Ambrose walked out onto the stage, not running to the ring, just standing there as a presence. Punk got distracted for maybe 3 seconds, looking at Ambrose on the ramp. Roman capitalized with a spear, but the referee was out of position from an earlier bump. By the time the ref counted, Punk kicked out at 2. Roman looked frustrated. He set up for another spear. But then, and this is where it gets stupid, The Rock's music hit. Rock walked out on the opposite side of the stage from Ambrose. Now Roman was the one distracted, staring at the man who betrayed him at last year's WrestleMania. Rock just stood there, arms crossed, watching. Roman turned back to Punk, who hit a desperation GTS. Punk covered. 1, 2, THR. Roman kicked out. Both men struggled to their feet. Ambrose and Rock were still on opposite sides of the stage, just watching. Neither man interfered. They were just present, creating tension. Roman and Punk collided in the center of the ring. Roman ducked a strike, grabbed Punk, Superman punch. Punk stumbled. Roman ran off the ropes. Spear. Cover. 1, 2, 3. New champion. Roman Reigns wins back the WWE Championship at WrestleMania 42. Here's why people are absolutely livid, and the rage is coming from every direction. CM Punk fans are furious because their guy lost again to Roman Reigns, and the circumstances of the loss make it look like Punk can never beat Roman in a fair fight. Yes, Roman won clean, technically no interference, no weapon shots, just a spear and a pin. But the psychological interference from Ambrose and Rock being present absolutely distracted Punk and contributed to the loss. So it's not a clean win, it's a tainted victory. Roman Reigns fans should be celebrating, but even they're conflicted because Roman's big WrestleMania moment, his redemption after last year's betrayal, is overshadowed by the Ambrose and Rock stuff. This should have been Roman's crowning achievement, proving he's still the best in the world without needing help or advantages. Instead, it feels like Roman won because other people showed up and created chaos, not because he was definitively better than Punk. And CM Punk himself? The look on his face after the match told the entire story. This wasn't a man who lost fair and square and could accept it. This was a man who felt robbed. Again. Punk has spent his entire WWE return fighting against the perception that he's not on Roman's level, that he needed Rock's help to win the title in the first place, that he can't beat the elite of WWE without assistance. And now, even in defeat, the narrative is, well, Ambrose and Rock distracted him. Punk can't win with this booking. Let's talk about what this finish reveals about WWE's current creative philosophy, because it's damning. WWE is terrified of definitive finishes. They're scared to have Roman lose clean because it damages his aura. They're scared to have Roman win too clean because then Punk looks weak. So they do this wishy-washy middle ground where technically Roman won fair, but there were enough outside factors that both sides can claim their guy got screwed. That's cowardice. That's refusing to commit to a story. Great wrestling storytelling requires decisiveness. Someone has to win, someone has to lose, and the audience has to accept the result even if they don't like it. Stone Cold beat The Rock clean at WrestleMania X7, controversial decision, but definitive. Daniel Bryan beat Batista and Randy Orton clean at WrestleMania XXX, clear winner, no ambiguity. This Roman Punk finish creates nothing but arguments and asterisks. Here's the deeper problem with this booking: it sets up another rematch, which means we're doing Roman versus Punk again. How many times can these two wrestle before people get tired of it? We've now had the match where Punk won with Rock's help. We've had the rematch where Roman won with Ambrose and Rock's presence affecting the outcome. The only way to settle this is a third match with no outside interference, no distractions, nothing but the two of them. But that's the match we should have gotten at WrestleMania 42 in the first place. Let's analyze what this means for each character going forward, because the implications are massive. For Roman Reigns, he's now a 5-time WWE champion and he just won the title at WrestleMania. That should be the ultimate triumph. But his celebration was muted. He held up the championship, but you could see the frustration on his face. He wanted to beat Punk decisively. He wanted to prove last year's loss was a fluke, and he didn't get that satisfaction. Roman is champion again, but he's still not vindicated. For CM Punk, this loss is devastating for his credibility. He's now lost the championship in his first defense. He's 0-2 against Roman Reigns in singles matches if you count this and their first encounter. The narrative is building that Punk simply can't beat Roman, which is the worst possible story for a character who's supposed to be one of the best in the world. Punk needs a win, and he needs it soon, or his entire WWE return becomes a story of almost but not quite. Dean Ambrose's role in this finish is fascinating because he didn't actually do anything. He just showed up. But his presence was enough to distract Punk and swing the match. That's actually smart character work. Ambrose didn't need to interfere directly to help Roman. Just being there was enough. But it also raises questions: is Ambrose okay with this? Did he and Roman plan this? Or did Ambrose show up on his own, and Roman took advantage opportunistically? The Rock's presence is even more complicated. Rock hasn't interacted with WWE since betraying Roman last year. He just appeared, stood on the stage, and left. What does Rock want? Is he taunting Roman? Is he warning him? Is he just observing to see if Roman could reclaim the championship? Rock's motivations are completely unclear, and that ambiguity is frustrating because we need answers, not more questions. Here's what should have happened if WWE had any creative courage: Roman Reigns should have beaten CM Punk clean. No Ambrose. No Rock. No distractions. Just Roman proving that he's better than Punk straight up. Yes, Punk fans would be upset, but they'd respect a clean loss. They'd accept that Roman was the better man on that night, and Roman would get his definitive redemption story. WWE's refusal to commit to that finish shows they don't trust their own storytelling. Alternatively, and this might have been even better, CM Punk should have retained the championship clean. Punk beats Roman decisively, proves he didn't need Rock's help, establishes himself as the guy moving forward, and Roman has to accept that there's someone better than him. That would be bold storytelling that creates a new era instead of just recycling the same Roman on top dynamic we've had for years. The post-match angle was equally frustrating. Roman celebrated with the championship. Ambrose walked down, stood next to Roman, and raised his arm. The two of them stood tall as WrestleMania ended. Punk was left in the ring, staring at them, furious but unable to do anything about it. And The Rock? He just vanished. No confrontation. No explanation. Just disappeared into the night like a ghost. That's not satisfying storytelling. That's WWE creating moments without considering how they connect to a larger narrative. Yes, the image of Roman and Ambrose holding the title is cool, but what does it mean? Are they coming for all the gold? Are they forming a new faction? What's the plan? WWE gave us questions without answers, and that's lazy booking. Let's talk about the business implications of this finish because they're significant. Roman Reigns as champion means WWE goes back to what's comfortable and safe. Roman is a proven draw. Roman moves merchandise. Roman is reliable. But Roman as champion again also means WWE is repeating themselves instead of creating something new. They had a chance to build CM Punk as the champion moving forward, creating fresh matchups and storylines. Instead, they went back to Roman because it's easier. The crowd reaction tells you everything you need to know about how this landed. There was no explosion of celebration when Roman won. There was no eruption of boos either. Just confused noise. Half the crowd was happy Roman won. Half was upset Punk lost. Nobody seemed satisfied with how it happened. When your WrestleMania main event finish gets a mixed reaction, you failed. Here's the fundamental problem with WWE's current creative: they're obsessed with protecting everyone. They don't want Roman to look weak, so he can't lose clean. They don't want Punk to look weak, so there have to be extenuating circumstances for his loss. They want to keep Ambrose looking strong as Roman's ally. They want to keep Rock mysterious and powerful. So they try to protect everyone, and in doing so, they satisfy no one. Wrestling works best when there are clear winners and losers. When Stone Cold won, Rock lost. When Hogan won, everyone else lost. That's how you create stars, by having them win decisively and making the losers sell the defeat. This 50-50 it's booking where everyone is protected and nobody truly wins or loses is killing the business because fans can't invest in outcomes that don't matter. What I need from you, and this is absolutely critical, tell me in the comments if you think Roman Reigns deserved to win this match or if CM Punk got screwed. Tell me if you're satisfied with this finish or if you feel cheated by WWE's refusal to commit to a clean outcome. And tell me where we go from here. Another Roman vs Punk match? Punk moving on to other opponents? Roman defending against new challengers? Like this video if you're angry about this WrestleMania finish and want WWE to know they messed up. Share it if you think WWE's obsession with protecting everyone is ruining storytelling. Subscribe if you want me tracking the fallout from this match and calling out WWE every time they take the cowardly route instead of telling definitive stories. Roman Reigns is WWE champion again. CM Punk lost at WrestleMania. And the way it happened satisfied nobody except maybe WWE's booking committee, who think they're clever for protecting everyone. This should have been a definitive moment that settled the Roman Punk rivalry once and for all. Instead, it's just another chapter in a story that's going to drag on for months with no clear resolution. WrestleMania 42 will be remembered for a lot of things, but the main event finish? That'll be remembered as the moment WWE chose safety over greatness, and both Roman Reigns and CM Punk deserved better than that.